Chapter 11, The Sting. Just before the third period of the Blades game, you find yourself staring down the very same paparazzo who snapped your photo at the Winter Festival. I knew you looked familiar. I should have recognized you that night. Your heart pounds against your ribs and your pulse rushes in your ears. Excuse me, sir. No fans in the booth, please. My colleague is right. Only official reporters are allowed in the booth, sir. I'm not going anywhere. Not until you and I discuss some terms. My camera's still trashed and all because of your little boyfriend. Kadish's brow knits with concern and he rests one hand on your arm. Ava, what the hell is this guy talking about? If he finds out about Casey here and now, I'm screwed. I'm sure everyone is going to love hearing about the sports reporter sleeping her way through the Blades for clicks. How dare you accuse my co-worker? Kadish, I got this. You take a deep breath, steadying yourself and square your shoulders. It's a private matter. Can you give me a few minutes? I don't know if it's a good idea to be alone with that guy, Ava. He seems unhinged. Come on, I can handle him. Take 5. I'll come get you when I'm done, okay? He gives you a wary look, but finally sets down his camera. Alright, I'm grabbing a refill before the third period. But if you have not vacated this booth by the time I get back, sir, I'll be forced to sick security on you. Your energy is horrendous. Watch Adish stalk off, knowing he'll make good on his threat. When you return your gaze to your guest, the paparazzo sneering at you. You have no right to come to my place of work and accuse me of sleeping with an entire hockey team. I don't know, it's a pretty good story, ain't it? About as half-assed as the one you leaked to the off the ice. You didn't have any proof then, and you don't have any now. I know, wild, isn't it? How when there's so little information, people take it upon themselves to fill in the blanks. Like your little camera buddy. He doesn't know about you and Jameson, but it won't take him long to start connecting the dots. Pang of guilt, sharp and shameful, slices through you. Kadish defended me. He believes in my integrity, and I lied to him. Not really. The guy just accused you of sleeping with the whole team. There's nothing for him to know. The lamp lights up as the Blades score. You glance over to the ice to see Casey hoisting a stick in the air. That's what I'm talking about, Blades. You know it's only a matter of time until he scans the stands for you and sees the paparazzo for himself. If Casey sees me talking to this guy, he'll lose it. And then it's game over for the Blades. Listen. Don't drag Jameson into this. I believe you already did that part for me. Besides, it's not a story without his name on it. You grit your teeth, still trying to see a path towards reason. If you go against Casey, you'll have the entire team coming for your ass. And by then I'll have a new camera and be sipping on a colada in Key West. Oh, if it's money you're concerned about, maybe we can strike a deal. What if I got you a bigger story? A bigger, better story. Worth 10 cameras. Then I'd say spill it. On the ice, Brent hip checks an opponent into the boards just a few feet away. He pounds on his chest as he raises a fist to the crowd. Don't mess with Brent Nation! The scoop is on the upstart trying to dethrone Jameson, Brent Lowell. Everyone knows Lowell is a poor man's Jameson. You sure about that? Lowell's pretty popular right now in the rumor mill. Jameson might have goals, but Lowell makes great headlines. What kind of headline are we talking about? I don't have anything salacious enough to guarantee the spotlight stays off me and Casey yet. But Brent definitely has some skeletons in the closet. I just need some more time. You keep your cool as the paparazzo waits for your response, lifting one shoulder in a casual shrug. If you want the story to net you the big bucks, we need to make sure you get it right. You can't think I'd cave without some insurance. This is my ace in the hole, man. I'm not just gonna tell you before we shake on it. Right now, I have a job to finish, but I'll draft the details up for you later. And, as a good show of faith, I'll even net you some photo evidence since you're down a camera. Deal. But only if you have proof, and you've got until tomorrow, my rent's due. That's only a few hours. Then you better get moving. I'm not staking my livelihood on some word or some BS rumor. If I got it, I'll leak your dirty laundry instead. But you have nothing! The paparazzo gives you a final smirk, as though he's won this battle, before walking away. By the time Adish returns with a fresh soda, you've managed to breathe your way through the panic and fix a smile on your face. Thank God he's gone. You want to explain what that was all about? Just some jerk looking for clickbait. He won't be bothering us anymore. But only if I can get that scoop. After the game, you make your way to the locker room, determined to find something on Brent that you can use against him. I can't let him suspect anything. Nice playing out there, Brent. He turns and smirks at you, crossing his arms over his chest to accentuate his biceps. You noticed too, huh? With skills like mine, Casey's days are numbered. You nearly roll your eyes, but quickly pivot and batting your eyelashes instead. Remember, you're doing this for Casey. You sidle closer, plastering a coy smile on your face. About those skills, Brent. You must be drowning in attention lately. It takes all your strength to feign a playful wink. Between taking center stage on the ice and all the photo shoots, you must be pulling out there. Oh, you know, finally getting all the attention Casey squandered when he had it. You resist raising your eyebrows, thinking that Casey certainly hasn't squandered it with you. I could even give you a private session sometime, unless you're too scared to mix business and pleasure. If I lead him on, maybe he'll let something revealing slip. You teasingly begin walking your fingers over his arm as muscles ripple under your touch. I'm throwing up in my mouth as we speak. You know, the secret to a good story is to get really powerful, quote. I bet you have a lot of power, don't you? He preens under your attention. He leans one shoulder up against the wall and grins at you. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to think I do. You're starting to steel your resolve when the door to the shower's open and Casey steps through, steam curling around his ankles. Casey! Get lost, Wallow, I need a word. You always ruin all the fun. Ava, you know how to find me if you want to continue this conversation. Brent saunters out and you dread having to deal with the consequences of leading him on later. As the door closes, you finally look at Casey in the eyes. His gaze is intense as always, but there's a hint of amusement in the corners of his mouth. I have to say, that was hard to watch. It didn't mean anything. Oh, I know. I meant hard to watch Lowell think he has a chance. Casey steps closer to you, the heat from his shower swarming your skin as he steps close enough to barely touch you. But also a little hard to watch you touching him, when you should be touching me. To punctuate the point, he places one hand on your hip, pulling you closer. Your hands settle on his chest with a wave of relief. Believe me, I would rather be touching you. Pull him in for a quick kiss. You grab the front of his undershirt and pull his lips to yours. Feeling a little reckless, Clark? You can taste his smile as he indulges you, his fresh scent filling your lungs. You press the length of your body against his, forgetting for a moment all the barriers between you. Always. He presses you up against the lockers, pinning you as his lips kiss along your jaw and down your neck. I know what you're doing. Turning you on? Trying to distract me. What are you actually up to in here? Pulls back, searching you with a dark, intense gaze, and you stifle a groan. You brace yourself for the explanation, running a finger lightly over the exposed skin under his gear in hopes of cooling his ire. Okay, fine. The paparazzo ambushed me at the game. He's going to out me to the media and ruin both of our reputations in the process. Asshole. You brush your fingers against his hand in a soothing gesture, and electric tingles dance up your arm when your skin touches his. But you've got a big interview with Sports Illuminated coming up, and we want management focusing on your value to the team, not your personal life. And I know how you feel about me using my sneaky reporter powers for the wrong reasons. Go on. But I've got an idea and I'm proud of it. You place a hand on his arm, an electric shiver running up your skin from the contact. I said I'd get him something juicier on the new first line forward. It's the best play we have. So you're digging for dirt on Lowell? I know Brent's part of your team, and you want to protect him, even if he is a giant pain in the ass. Casey rests his hand on either side of your face, stopping you. When he tilts your face up to his, he's grinning. Brent could stand to be taken down a peg. He's gotten way too cocky lately. But you hate this sort of thing. Brent may be on my team, but so are you. If it's your reputation or Brent's, only one of you has one to save in the first place. A sweet satisfaction spreads through your body, warming you from the inside out. Every time Casey says you're his something and you melt. And I wish you hadn't chased him out of here. I was getting somewhere. Then let me make it up to you. I have some ideas about where to start looking. I could help you out. After all, how could I turn down a chance to screw with Lowell? Team up with Casey. Okay. Then we should get started. You and Casey glance around the locker room for a moment. You have it all to yourselves. Here's his phone. Locked. You don't know his password? I try to know as little about Brent as possible, but he's not a complex guy. I'm sure we can guess. There's gotta be some clue around here somewhere. He reaches past you, his arm brushing against yours as he swings open Brent's locker. Inspect the plushie. Dry erase marker. I'm gonna go with the plushie. You reach for the small, perfectly fluffy plushie in nearly pristine condition, your disgust softening a little. Oh, Brent does have a heart. That's little scruffy. It's some sort of good luck charm for him. He practically prays to it before every match and gives it a butterfly kiss. You regard the stuffed animal thoughtfully. Somehow I don't think Lau worships corgi stuffies, the headliner Pap is looking for. Probably not, but a little scruffy might be your ticket into Brent's phone. Dry erase marker. You pluck the worn dry erase marker out of the locker, popping the cap. Is he planning to graffiti the locker room? It's Lowell's autograph pen. He uses it when fans ask him to sign a body part. I'd have guessed he'd use permanent marker. Nope. He gets to make the joke that he made a mistake and needs to rub it off. You squeeze your eyes shut at the image. Toss the marker back into the locker with fervor. Probably a little scruffy so far. You gingerly lift the boxers, pinching the waistband between your thumb and forefinger and holding them at arm's length. Oh, lucky boxers? Nope, just a guy who is hopeless at laundry. These are dirty? I'd put money on it. And I'd appreciate if you put them down. Not sure how I feel about you holding some other guy's boxers. You have no competition, trust me. He set his boxers back where you found them, happily moving on. You tap your chin as you look over the rest of Brent's locker. I might have an idea. Okay, here we go. Little scruffy, alright? You type in your guess, and Brent's phone opens through the home screen. Oh, the power of a treasured stuffed animal. This is embarrassing. At least use some special characters. The phone now unlocked, you take a minute to review the background. A shirtless mirror selfie of Brent himself. I'm already regretting this. God, he's that in love with himself. It'll be worth it. Just go to his contacts. You open his contacts and start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Brent's more popular than I would have thought. Stop. He leans forward over your shoulder, his chin a breath from your cheek. He snakes an arm around you, and for a moment you almost forget what you're supposed to be doing. Eggplant emoji. 3 of them. The glee in his voice draws your attention back to the screen. You see a full list of Brent's recent conquests. What are the odds Jenny, Dom, and Delilah know about each other? Just imagine if they all showed up to a hot date at the same time. Your jaw practically drops. You lower Brent's phone, turning around to stare at Casey with a newfound appreciation. That's kind of diabolical. I wouldn't have pegged you for a gossip, Jameson. They deserve to know, and Brent brings it on himself. You grin, looping your arm around his neck to bring him closer, just a breath away from a kiss. I'm into it. It's kinda hot, seeing the side of you. His eyes flare and his hands come to rest on your waist. He leans in, his lips hovering so close to yours that you can feel when he speaks. Don't get used to him. My goal here is to protect you. You linger there for a moment, letting the thrill of his words drift over your skin, then let the issue drop, returning to Brent's phone. I think we should send Jenny a message, don't you? I've been dying for Italian. You navigate to Brent's text, noticing all 3 names near the top of the list. You click on Jenny. Jenny, the bed's lonely without you. Don't you miss me? Sorry, I've just been super busy with the SZN. Promise we'll meet up ASAP. Don't make me wait too long. Hey, I keep my promises. Let me take you out. Pete's pasta joint tonight? Yum. I'll be there. Did you see those messages from last week? Like I said, they deserve to catch him. He's stringing all these people along. Next up, we got Dom. For Dom, I think we need a lot more eggplants, to really drive it home. Is this coming from experience, or... There we go, Dom. Last night was HOT. You know it. I hope we can get to it again. Name, the time and place. Time, 7. Place, Pete's pasta. That doesn't sound like your bedroom. I like a little suspense. Kinda hot, I'm in. What if Dom is a dude? I'm just saying. Listen, crown of the flame, that's all I'm saying. Okay, last one. Shall we try a more elegant approach? You read my mind. Hey, sweet girl, I need some loving tonight. You got any of that peach for me? Brenna, I thought you'd been ignoring me. I'll be there, boo. What happened to there's no messages prior to this? You're impressed at the lightning-fast responses you get. It is so on. Casey takes the phone, about to replace it in the locker when you stop him. There's just one last thing. You delete the sent messages, then hand the phone to Casey while you send Brent a text from your own phone. Hey, this is Jenny. New number. Meet me at Pete's tonight. I'll be the one with nothing on under her coat. Casey almost chokes as he reads the incoming text. I'm a little scared of you right now. I would be scared of me too. And to think how much trouble you gave me all those weeks ago. Could have been you at my mercy. Your heartbeat trips a little faster as his eyes sweep up and down your body. I'm already extremely at your mercy. So, put a man out of his misery and be my date tonight. You offering to take me to Pete's Pasta? You deserve to see how it plays out. We both do. Later that evening, around 7, you and Casey sit in a dimly lit corner at Pete's Pasta, surveying your surroundings. You peek over your menu as 2 women and a man each find seats at the bar. None of them seem to recognize each other. I was right! These lovers are in for a very rude awakening. Casey takes a slow sip of his drink, his gaze lingering on yours. Don't doubt yourself now, plans already in motion. What if it's not our place? Casey thinks on this for a moment, then takes your hand decisively. Brent might be an immature ass, but this isn't that. He's just selfish. If he doesn't want to be exclusive, he shouldn't pretend he does. Everything in your body feels the tone of the conversation shift, and when you look at him, he's watching you right back. And you? What if you wanted to be exclusive? He chuckles low in his throat, and the sound sends a shiver of delight up your neck. You imagine him making such sounds while his mouth is on your skin, and you almost miss Brent's arrival. Brent strides up to the blonde at the bar, an expectant grin on his face. You prop your phone up on the table and start recording. Hey, Jenny, radiant as always. Brent, I almost didn't recognize you with all that extra muscle. But as Jenny angles herself towards Brent, Dominic and Delilah turn as well. You're meeting someone else here right in front of me. Delilah, what are you doing here? You invited me, a-hole. You invited another woman? Dominic seizes the moment to interject, looking scandalized. You date women? On a forehead, I'm just gonna facepalm. I don't discriminate based on gender. Can someone explain what the hell's going on? Behind the menu, Casey's hand grasps yours. When you glance at him, his eyes are wide and bright. He leans close to your ear, whispering so your phone doesn't pick up any audio. This is even better than I thought. You need to zoom in on Brent's face. You zoom the camera into Brent's shell-shocked expression, keeping the lens steady. Hell, that face. For all the flexing he does, Brent looks pretty helpless just now. Dom and the two women have joined forces. Dom and Jenny pin Brent against the bar while Dom stalks over to Brent and flings his cocktail in his face. Asshole. You cheating, lying, double-crossing son of a... Consider yourself blocked. Delilah hands Jenny her half-finished drink, urging her to add on to Dom's deluge, just as she obliges. The restaurant manager scurries over, waving his hands frantically. Please, everyone, stop! This is a family establishment! A breadstick whizzes by the man's head, causing the perfect diversion for you to duck out. Once outside, you and Casey craft your email to the paparazzo and send the video off. Well, should be more than enough to buy a new camera and get this guy off our backs. Look at Casey, your breath fogging in the cool air. You think he'll keep us into the bargain? He better. But even if he didn't, I think I liked working on a beat with you, Jameson. He wraps his arms around you, warding off the chill of the evening. Kiss him slow and gentle. You lean in and brush your lips against Casey's. His mouth captures yours and you lean into him as his body blocks you from the chill. You know this is what you get, you say to this mess for being unable to resist Casey, but the way his lips glide over yours, the warmth spreading through your body, it's too intoxicating to resist. And finally you pull back, looking into his eyes. He almost seems thoughtful. As usual, of a date that was... I had a good time tonight. Me too. I just have one last question. What do you like better, revenge served cold or with warm breadsticks? Breadsticks, but only if I'm sharing them with you. Because you are way too powerful not to have on my side. After settling the score with the paparazzo, things slowly return to normal. Give it 5 minutes. You and Casey return to your original goal of boosting his image, starting with an illustrious photo shoot downtown. As you help Casey prepare for the interview, his eyes catch yours in the mirror. I have to say, when you told me you'd pulled some strings with the Sports Illuminated, I wasn't expecting to disrobe. You run your gaze over the tantalizing exposed skin of his chest, knowing soon all will be bared before the cameras. Brent's expose was a double-edged sword. We may need to work twice as hard to get you back in the public eye. For the right reasons, this time. Is that why we're serving my body up to Sports Illuminated on a silver platter? Are you opposed? I have a hard time believing this is a selfless proposition. The corner of his lips quirk up and a flash of mischief glints in his eyes. Maybe the photo shoot is classier than you think. Don't get the wrong idea. The body positivity issue is tasteful. So being bare-assed has nothing to do with my appeal. Oh, it's sexy, but you aren't just showing off that hot body of yours. You're talking about your physique, your career, how it is to be wanted and respected. All turns for you, or all turn-ons for you, I'm guessing. Well, And just then the door opens and you break apart before the photographer waltzes in. She beams at Casey as she shakes his hand. Casey Jameson, thanks so much for finally agreeing to do this. I've been trying to snag you for years. You notice Casey settling into the standard gruff exterior he had before the two of you met, but when he glances at you, he softens. It's a pleasure. I don't always take to this vulnerable stuff, so Ava is here to help. And bring him out of his shell. Well, no arguments here. I've seen your banter during the games and your interviews. I'll be happy to use some of that magic in this issue. Ava, I hope you'll tag in whenever the mood strikes you. Certainly. Go ahead and start stripping down for the photos. We can cover the questions while I'm getting the shots. Casey shoots you a subtle look and begins to strip. With each piece of clothing that hits the floor, your temperature rises by a fraction. Covertly watch him strip. Remember, we're not here. We just gotta tag in whenever. You watch him hungrily as he sheds his clothing, breathing slow through your nose. I hope you have those questions ready. I could use a distraction. Your blood pounds in your ears and heat pools in your core as he slides his underwear down his powerful legs. Wait, when did they start doing those types of shots in sports? You know what I mean. Him and me both. I'm on fire. Okay, question 1. What kind of pressure do you face as a professional athlete when it comes to how you look? Casey's eyes burn in yours as the photographer begins to snap pictures. Interesting question. Hockey's all about speed, strength, and being able to land a punch. He smacks one fist into his open palm, grinning, but then he sobers and becomes serious, vulnerable, even. Men aren't supposed to be insecure about our bodies, but when you're an athlete, your physique is always up for debate. Full stop. We aren't supposed to be insecure? My ass! It's tough to balance keeping in shape with not reaching for impossible standards. Have you ever struggled with how you look in private when there's no one to see? Honestly, sometimes, yeah. Usually I'm more focused on skill, but it's impossible to separate from body entirely. Feel a pang in your chest at the weight of his words. Hard to believe how anyone could see anything but perfection. He locks eyes with you, wordlessly prompting you to take control. Can you share some insight on that mysterious mind of yours? A twinkle appears in his eyes. Can you elaborate? You've always been a man of few words, but lately you've been mingling with your fans. What's prompted the big change? I guess you can say I have a new perspective. I'm finally starting to see the benefits of media attention. The double meaning in his gaze heats you to the core. I wager the fans appreciate it. Photographer snaps another photograph, but when she looks down at the viewfinder, she frowns. You look good, Casey, but I think we might need a little oil to make those pecs pop. It catches the light, you know? Casey's eyes fly to yours, an electric spark thrills through your whole body. I'm down to apply oil if Ava gives me a hand. The boldness of his challenge nearly steals your breath. and your heart beats wildly at the implications. Your attraction is so loud, so hot, so visceral that you're positive everyone can see it or feel it. Oil Casey up. The photographer doesn't bat an eye as you pull Casey back to a nearby dressing room. Anticipation runs through your veins and you quickly close the door. Finally, we're alone. Oh, we better make the best of it. You pour some oil on your hands and your heart leaping at the idea that you get to touch him, to feel him. You're kicking ass in the interview, by the way. But I have to say, I didn't know you felt that way about your body. Just sometimes. Well, I think there is so much to appreciate. You accentuate your words by running your fingertips up the hills and valleys of his abs. And I plan to appreciate every muscle while we're here. When you put it that way, what is it you want to appreciate? You drop your eyes to his groin, but you aren't about to give him the satisfaction so soon. Tantalizingly, you swipe the oil over his rapidly heating skin. Let's start with your shoulders. You slide around and kneel behind him, slowly and thoroughly rubbing the oil up his tautly muscled thighs. You focus on one shoulder, tracing the dip of his collarbone, the slope of his chest, and then work your way to the other. I should hire you as my private. You trace your fingers over his chest, pausing lightly over his nipples. What was that about private? He groans low in his throat as your hands glide over his skin, loosing the knots tied tight by stress and restraint. Are you sure you're a reporter? The way you baited Lau out there yesterday, and your hands. Let's call this a side hustle. You're lucky. I know your body so well. You're my specialty. No one else knows how to turn you on the way I do. I can't argue with that. Don't try. You know I'll win, because I know you. Your hands slide to a more dangerous forbidden zones, from hamstrings to glutes, from pecs to thighs. With every sweep of your touch, it grows more and more tense. Relax. If I didn't know you to be professional, I'd say you're getting a little worked up here. You're not making it easy. If we weren't at work right now. Grin wickedly and continue with even slower, firmer strokes, loving the way your hands glide effortlessly over his skin. But as your touch goes over the back of his knees, he jolts. Careful. Don't tell me you're ticklish, Jameson. Not ticklish, tender. I knew it. You do have a weakness. I wouldn't go that far. You lean forward and gently blow on his freshly oiled skin. His eyes flutter closed, the muscle flexing over his hip jumps. Really? No weaknesses at all? You kiss the tender skin, watching the satisfaction as his hand clenches at his side. Well, maybe when it comes to you. He works slow, massaging his lower back before rubbing the oil into the taut curves of his ass. You run your palms along his silken skin, dipping your fingers to tease the insides of his thighs. You get me any more turned on and the shoot is going to be torture. That's the whole idea. At last, you turn him to face you. His eyes are hooded with lust at the sight of you kneeling at his feet. You toss him a wicked grin and drop your gaze to him. Pleased to see. Yep. What do you think happened? Wasn't the typical bow chicka wow wow, but you know, you got to choose. Anyway, it's your turn to get oiled. A shiver of anticipation glides over your skin. I'll hold you to that. You wipe your hands on a towel and accompany a very oiled, very relaxed Casey back to the studio, where he can finish the photo shoot. Once a photo shoot wraps up and the interviewer thanks Casey for his time, Brent walks in. Oh, there's Mr. Lowell. Good luck with him. Try not to let him talk you to death. You won't be smiling this time tomorrow, Jameson. Aren't we headed to your hometown for the next game? His back stiffens and his fists clench at his sides. You're startled at the sudden tension lining every plane of his body. Last year didn't go so well, did it? I bet Daddy was disappointed. Watch it, Lowell. Oh, that's right. Your dad doesn't watch, does he, Jameson? He never even shows up at all. You know, really didn't like that guy, and now I really don't like him even more. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. Without further ado, I'll say the following. Yeah, so I don't like Lowell. I really don't. Yeah, no. For all my sportsmanship growing up, right? Middle school, high school, etc. One of the biggest things for me is I never had a dad. And, I always wanted, like, my only other parent, which was my mom, to show up at my games, and I definitely feel for him in terms of that, because I would be told time and time again, I'll be there, and they never showed up. And, I guess something was more important, or someone was more important than me, right? So it is definitely a sore spot that, I'm sure someone could yell, grow up, but, it is something that, definitely does leave you a little sore, right? It does actually leave you a little sore. Aside from that, I swear there was something else that I was going to bring up in regards to this video, but I guess I forgot it, so, it happens, right? Hopefully, again, you all did enjoy, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.